Knight's Kingdom presents Bounty. Episode 1 Meet and Greet. Written by MC Check Writing. Based on characters by DC Comics. It's a peaceful night. A 60-year-old Slade Wilson is sitting on his couch, drinking a glass of expensive whiskey. Slade has a black eye patch covering his right eye and a beard that is the same gray color as his hair. In his lap is a picture of his family, which consists of his wife Adeline Kane, his oldest son Grant Wilson, his youngest son Joseph, and his only daughter Rose. Everyone in the photo is smiling except for Slade, who has his usual stern face in the photo.
Adeline was right. I am shit at having my photo taken. I always look like a miserable bastard. Then again, I probably look the exact same way now. Hell, probably worse.
Slade finishes off his glass of whiskey and stands up from the couch. He carefully sets the picture on the end table next to the couch.
Think I'm gonna call it a night. Need my beauty sleep, of course.
Slade stares at the photo sadly one last time.
Adeline, Rose, Jericho, good night. I hope you're all doing well. Grant, I'm sorry. I miss you so much. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't wish I could trade my life for yours. You turned out to be too much like your reckless old man, and it got you killed. To make matters worse, it seems like Rose is becoming more like me as well. Don't worry, though. Unlike the two of us, she has her mother's smarts. She'll be okay. I love you all, and see you tomorrow.
Slade rests his hand on the photo for a second, before walking away to go to bed for the night. Outside of Slade's house is a group of 20 armed men who are about to infiltrate Slade's home to capture him. All of the armed men are wearing bulletproof vests along with other protective gear. Their weapons include assault rifles, pistols, shotguns, stun batons, photon swords, and several others. One of the armed men is Rick Flag, who is leading the operation. He is the only one who isn't wearing a mask. He looks to be in his mid-50s, but is still incredibly muscular despite his age. He is equipped with nothing but a tranquilizer gun in his right hand.
Outside of target's home. All dark. I'm assuming the target is asleep. Do we really need 20 men for this? It's just one man, who's even older than my geriatric ass.
And here I am, wondering if 20, including your geriatric ass, is enough. If you want some advice, don't underestimate this target. You've read through the intel I gave you, yes? So you know what he's capable of, right?
Yes, ma'am. His healing ability does sound like a bit of a pain in the ass, and he's obviously well trained. Thing is, so am I. If he gets enough bullets emptied into him and his limbs severed, that should be enough for me to do what I need to.
Rick Flag studies his tranquilizer gun and smiles to himself.
Well, it sounds like you've got it all figured out. Let's hope you can execute it. Tell me how it all works out for you as soon as it's over. Good luck, Flag. You're gonna need it.
Can't believe I'm working with that damn woman again. Always sounds like she's fucking talking down to me. Oh well, can't be helped, I suppose.
Rick Flag signals the other men to come closer so he can give orders.
All right, let's begin the infiltration. Remember the plan and provide me with an opening.
All of the armed men nod their heads in understanding.
Okay, let's get this shit over with.
The lock on Slade's front door is broken. An armed man with a shotgun quietly pushes the front door open. He checks to make sure the coast is clear, and then he signals to the others to enter the building alongside him. 19 armed men make their way silently into the house, with Rick Flag being the last person to enter the home.
Bastard's not in here. Start checking the other rooms. Lord knows there's enough of them in this big fucking house.
The armed men split up to search the various rooms around the house. 4 armed men enter the armory that's inside of Slade's house, weapons at the ready. They search the room thoroughly before making 2 significant discoveries. 1, that there seems to be an empty armor stand, where armor should be hanging off of, and 2, various weapons are missing from the wall that's full of them. This includes a bowstaff, 2 submachine guns, a sword, and some grenades.
Fuck. The bastard must know we're here. We have to warn the others before...
An armed man drops to his knees, now missing both of his hands. He is inside one of the house's bathrooms, and alongside him are the bodies of 2 other armed men who are both dead. One has his throat slashed, and the other has been split half, horizontally. The armed soldier who is missing both of his hands trembles in fear of the individual responsible for all of this carnage. Slade stands in front of him, holding his sword in his right hand and fully equipped in his orange and black Deathstroke armor.
Don't you know it's rude not to knock before entering someone's bathroom? Seems like manners are a thing of the past these days. Damn pity.
Slade thrust his sword downward onto his head cleanly.
What a shame, I just mopped these floors. Well, guess this stealthy approach is over. Oh well, been a while since I've gotten proper exercise like this. Should be a nice change of pace.
Slade waits a moment, using the bathroom walls as cover until the gunfire stops. He can hear sets of footsteps approaching him. The grip on his sword tightens. As soon as the footsteps are close enough, he lunges out of the bathroom and immediately slashes one of the armed men's throats, blood spraying everywhere. He follows this up by decapitating another armed man and stabbing his sword into a 3rd armed man. More bullets begin to get fired at Slade. With his sword still in one of the armed men, he uses the body as a shield to protect him from the bullets. Bullets blast through the armed man that's being used as a shield. Slade dashes towards the other armed men who are firing at him. Once he's close enough, he kicks the armed man he has been using as a shield towards the others who are firing at him. The body falls into a couple of the men, disrupting the gunfire. Slade slices one of the men across both of his eyes horizontally, blinding him in the process. He screams in agony and falls to his knees, holding his eyes in pain. Slade finishes him off with a roundhouse kick that has so much force behind it that it twists the man's head all of the way around, killing him. Slade stabs his sword into another armed man's throat. In the corner of Slade's eye, he can see Rick Flag aiming what looks like a tranquilizer gun at him while he's distracted. A tranquilizer dart is fired at Slade.
Son of a bitch.
2 other men sneak up to Slade and stun him from behind with their stun batons, causing Slade to feel a strong enough electric shock which results in him dropping his sword. Slade recovers while Rick Flag reloads his weapon. Slade quickly grabs the other man as Rick Flag finishes reloading another tranquilizer dart. Slade uses the armed man as a shield and the dart pierces into the bulletproof vest that he's wearing.
Remember to wear protection, huh?
Slade rips off the armed man's protective helmet and mask, equips one of his submachine guns with his free hands, and fires the weapon directly at the armed man's face, shredding his entire head until it's nothing but loosely tied flesh, bones, and eyeballs. Slade tosses the corpse to the side and points the submachine gun at Rick Flag, who has already reloaded. Before he can shoot Rick Flag, the remaining 9 armed men all make their way into the living room of the house, pointing their guns and melee weapons at Slade. Slade lowers his submachine gun, causing Rick Flag to smile.
What's the matter? Thinking about surrendering?
Slade returns his submachine gun to its holster. gets on his hands and knees and places his hands behind his head, surrendering. Some of the men approach Slade cautiously. Rick Flag is still aiming his tranquilizer gun at Slade. As soon as the men are close enough to him, Slade coughs, startling everyone in the room, which is enough time for him to pull a pin on a grenade and throw it at the armed men who are right by him. Slade rolls out of the way as more bullets are fired at him. The grenade goes off brutally, dismembering and killing 4 more armed men, leaving 6 left, including Rick Flag. Slade equips both of his submachine guns and begins firing back at the armed men, managing to kill 2 of them by aiming at their throats, which aren't protected by armored helmets and masks. As soon as he runs out of bullets, he throws the 2 submachine guns at 2 other armed men, whacking them both in the helmet, causing them to momentarily stop firing their weapons. Slade assembles his bowstaff and charges them. He uppercuts one of the armed men with the bowstaff, knocking the man's head completely off of his body. He then thrusts the bowstaff with so much power into another armed man's head that it manages to smash the helmet he's wearing and crush his skull, flattening it to the point that the man's eyeballs bulge out of it. One last armed man manages to stun Slade with a stun baton, causing him to freeze, and Rick Flag fires his tranquilizer gun. This time, the tranquilizer dart stabs Slade right in his neck that isn't protected. Slade thrusts his bowstaff through the armed man's skull, stabbing it right through his helmet. Slade collapses onto the floor unconscious, leaving Rick Flag as the only survivor.
Definitely not the cleanest operation. Seems like 20 was barely enough. Fucking hell.
We see a group of kids playing with each other outside of a large old-fashioned house in the countryside. Sitting in a rocker on the front porch of the house is Slade Wilson and his wife, Adeline.
You sure you don't want to play with them?
I think I'll pass this time. Besides, looks like they're all having fun. I don't want to interrupt. Also, shade here feels nice. Nice change of pace after spending so much time in the damn desert.
Your last assignment was in the Middle East, right? It's a hell of a war zone down there. I'd say the heat is the least of your worries.
The smile Adeline has on her face from watching her kids play disappears.
You head back out tomorrow, right? It feels like we all see less and less of you every year.
I know. Hopefully, after a couple more assignments, things will slow down a little.
This isn't the first time I've heard you promise such a thing. Have you given any more thought to retiring? I'm sure you could find another job around here without much effort.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I should have expected that response. Honestly, it's like you've become addicted to the battlefield. No, perhaps you always have been. You spent the majority of your life killing, whether it was as a soldier, a mercenary, or an assassin. However,
Adeline points to the kids playing in the front yard of the house.
it's my job as your wife to remind you that there's more to life than killing and being on battlefield, Slade. So much more. I hope you realize that one day before it's too late.
Slade takes a final glance at his wife and then his kids. Slade opens his one good eye, waking up inside of a prison cell. He is no longer wearing his Deathstroke armor, but rather an orange prison jumpsuit. In addition to this, he is wearing a collar of some kind. Slade attempts to pull it off, but can't.
Seems like I was too late, huh, Adeline?
Mr. Lawson, there's someone who wants to speak with you.
Already? Can an old man have a second to wake up?
Slade is escorted into a briefing room by the prison guard. The briefing room is shaped like a lecture hall you would find at a college. Rows of seats are inside of the room. However, only the very first row has people seated in them. 3 people to be exact. Deadshot, Bloodsport, and Vigilante. Slade doesn't recognize any of them. None of the 3 are wearing their combat armor. Instead, the same orange prison jumpsuit as Slade. Slade reads the name on the back of one of the orange prison jumpsuits, and it reads, Belreve Prison.
Louisiana, huh? Seems like I'm a long way from home.
Did I say Kuntok?
Slade turns around to face the guard, menacingly.
Didn't anyone teach you to always treat your elders with respect?
The prison guard backs up. Slade sits in the chair next to Vigilante.
So, how many did they send after you, old-timer?
Didn't really keep count, to be honest. Maybe around 20 or so. Why?
Only 20? Shit, you must not be that big of a deal. Me, on the other hand, you should have seen it. Sent damn near 100 armed men to take me down.
Is that right?
Fuck yeah! I took down almost all the fuckers, too. They barely got me, let me tell you. They got real lucky.
I'm sure they did. Calling me old man is a bit disrespectful, don't you think? I'd prefer it if you call me by my name.
And that would be?
Slade. And you are?
Vigilante nudges Deadshot, who's sitting on the other side of him.
Did you hear this motherfucker? He asked me what my name is. Like, he doesn't already know it. That's crazy. It's understandable, though. I mean, the poor old bastard doesn't even know how to turn on TV. It's cool, it's cool.
Listen, limp dick. Next time you touch me, I'll break your masturbating hand.
How would you know which one that is?
I'll take a guess and hope I'm right. You want to take that chance?
Someone's having the time of their fucking month.
Vigilante then turns his attention back to Slade.
Right, anyway, to answer your question, Grant, I mean Slade. My name is Vigilante, one of the most badass motherfuckers. No. The most badass motherfucker on this planet. Kind of guy girls throw their panties at, the kind of guy that makes other guys proud for being cuckolded. That kind of motherfucker, you understand?
I didn't understand a word you just said. Nice to meet you, Vigilante.
Oh, man's got fucking jokes. Great. What are you laughing at? Shit, I don't even know your name.
Name's Deadshot. I shake your hand, but I don't know where either of them have been.
What?
Funny seeing you here, Deadshot. Did you finally miss a shot, or did you simply piss off the wrong people to end up in this shithole?
Like I ever missed a shot. That's like you leaving a job unfinished, Deathstroke.
Hold the fuck up. You two know each other?
You could say that the two of us and Mr. Bloodsport over there are in the same line of business.
Hell, if you could even call it a business.
The fuck? Totally feel left out here.
To answer your question, Slade, I'm not entirely sure why I'm back in this place, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we're about to find out.
Being back in this prison can't be good. That's for damn sure. Plus, there's these collars around our necks. I'm no science whiz, but I imagine it's some kind of bomb or something.
A bomb? Is that some kind of joke?
You two have been here before?
Yeah, we've been here a few times, actually. Each time, we worked under the same damn woman.
If you can even call her a woman. Bitch is like a calculative and emotionless robot. Shit, for all we know, she could be.
I assure you that I'm no robot, Mr. Trent.
All 4 of the men turn around and notice a woman with a scowl on her face, entering the briefing room, holding an iPad. She walks past the 3 and stands in front of a large monitor that automatically turns on. Images of Deathstroke, Vigilante, Deadshot, and Bloodsport flash on the monitor that the woman is standing in front of. The woman's name is Amanda Waller.
Also, I do feel emotions. Would you like to guess what emotion that is, Mr. Trent?
Shit. Knowing your miserable ass, I'm assuming you're pissed.
We have a winner! Very good, Mr. Trent. Would you like a cookie? Unfortunately, we're fresh out of them. Just like I'm fresh out of fucking patience. So do me a favor and kindly shut the fuck up until I'm done speaking.
many times have I gotta work with this booty old bitch?
I know we have some familiar faces here today, but I see that we have some new ones as well. In that case, I'll introduce myself. My name is Amanda Waller. Considering I hold all 4 of your lives in my hands, I would do my best to remember that name. Now, on to you 4.
Images of Deathstroke flash into the screen, including ones of him performing missions as Deathstroke and him hanging out with his family as Slade Wilson.
First up, we have Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. Former soldier, former mercenary, former assassin, etc. Not only is he a skilled combatant, but his self-regeneration ability makes him damn near impossible to kill.
Such compliments mean so much coming from a woman of your stature.
Although his self-regeneration ability, overall stamina, combat abilities, and everything that makes him a killing machine have all decreased in age. Isn't that correct, Mr. Wilson? It seems like not even you can escape from old age.
None of us can.
Still, even though you might not be at your peak, there's no questioning that you're still a one-man army, capable of taking on 20 highly skilled men.
Ah, so there were 20. Does that answer your question? Vigilante, was it?
Shit. 20 is nothing. Don't get so big-headed because this bitch is striking you off so much.
All of the pictures of Deathstroke and Slade Wilson disappear from the monitor and are replaced by pictures of Vigilante, both with his costume on and off.
In that case, let's move on to Vigilante next.
Damn straight! Y'all better be paying attention. This is when the shit gets good.
I would strongly advise that you never fucking interrupt me again. Is that understood?
Vigilante salutes Waller jokingly and doesn't speak.
Vigilante, whose real name is Adrian Chase. College graduate and, shockingly, seems to be smart enough to graduate from one of the top law schools in the country.
You're fucking with me, right? This dipshit's a lawyer?
What did I just say about interrupting me?
Right. Don't get your fucking panties in a twist, if a beast like you even wears them.
However, it would be more appropriate to say former lawyer, considering the dipshit was fired from his law firm. Now, he's much more interested in taking the law into his own hands. Similar to Mr. Wilson, he's incredibly skilled as a mercenary, with expert martial arts skills, marksmanship, and agility. Everything out of his damn mouth may be a joke, but his skill set as a mercenary sure as hell isn't.
Well, you skipped over some things, including my tragic past, but overall, not bad, Amanda. Not bad at all.
I'm pretty sure all of us here have some sort of fucked up past. No one wants to hear that bullshit.
I don't know about that. Mine is a real tearjerker, asshole.
Speaking of tragic pasts, let's move on to Bloodsport next, shall we?
Images of Bloodsport are pulled up on the monitor behind Waller. The images show Bloodsport's time as a soldier, a hired gun that worked under Lex Luthor, his time in a psychiatric hospital, and his brother.
Bloodsport, aka Robert Dubois, a former soldier who lost his brother Michael Dubois in the Vietnam War. His brother took his place after Robert decided to evade the draft out of initial fear of the Vietnam War. Isn't that right, Mr. Dubois?
Bloodsport remains silent, but stares at Waller with cold eyes.
I guess you couldn't live with the guilt. Probably thought it should have been you who died on the battlefield and not your brother. It truly pulls on my heartstrings. Didn't take long for you to end up in the psych ward before finally entering your own battlefield. Although your battlefield was Metropolis, and rather than enemy soldiers, your targets were innocent civilians, and even the Man of Steel himself. However, even with tech given to you by everyone's favorite bald asshole of a billionaire, Lex Luthor, you couldn't kill Superman. That didn't stop you from leaving one hell of a trail of bodies behind, though. Mowing down innocent civilians while claiming they couldn't possibly understand what it was like to fight in a war is definitely not the best look. Still, this was all quite a while ago, and I couldn't give less of a shit about any of it. Just wanted you other 3 to know the type of psychopathic pretend warmonger you're going to be working with, or against for that matter. No, what's most interesting about you, Mr. Dubois, is that extra-dimensional weapon of his.
Extra-dimensional? Sounds like bullshit to me.
Oh, it's real. Believe me. I've seen the fucking thing in action. It's quite the spectacle.
That's one word for it, I guess. Still, like you already explained, Waller, all of that shit about me being psychopathic is ancient history now. I've made peace with what happened to my brother. I'm trying to live a life that he can be proud of, since that's all I can do at this point.
Oh, I know all about your little fairy tale life that you're attempting to create for yourself. Your current employment at a retirement home for old war vets, your current partner that was somehow able to fall in love with someone as fucked up as you, and her teenage kid that you help raise. I know all of it. Seems like a lot's changed since I last hired you for work. Last time you didn't have so much to lose. And for me to leverage.
Are you threatening them? You high and mighty bitch.
Waller turns on the iPad she's holding and pulls up the detonator that's connected to the explosive collars. She shows him the iPad and hovers her index finger over the activation button that's next to his name specifically.
You really want to test me? You've built a nice little life for yourself over these last couple of years. Shame if it ended with your head blown off your body.
Bloodsport's hands ball up into fists, and he grits his teeth in frustration. All of a sudden, a hand is placed on his shoulder. Bloodsport turns and notices the one that has placed his hand on his shoulder is Slade.
Second chances at life don't come often. Sometimes they never come at all. If you want some advice from an old man whose entire life has consisted of fuck-up after fuck-up, don't throw away the second chance you've been given at life. You'll regret it.
Bloodsport sighs but calms down. He removes Slade's hand from his shoulder.
You're not my fucking shrink, old man. Sit down and mind your own fucking business.
With that, both Bloodsport and Slade sit back down in their seats as Waller smiles to herself. Bloodsport scoffs at Waller, but remains silent, taking Slade's advice. All of the images of Bloodsport are replaced with images of Deadshot on the monitor behind Waller.
Last but not least, we have Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot. The infamous man who never misses himself, ladies and gentlemen. He's an expert marksman and unmatched when it comes to sniping. As his nickname alludes to, supposedly he's never missed a shot.
Yeah, of course he did. No way in hell I'd believe something like that.
If I had a nickel for every time I've heard that stupid-ass comment, I'd be wealthy as that billionaire in Gotham. What the hell was his name again? Some playboy piece of shit.
I know my fair share, but since it's Gotham, I'm assuming you're talking about Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, that smug bastard. I kinda hope one of these days he'll be my target, so I can knock him off his fucking high horse.
Careful what you wish for, hotshot.
If you four are finished, I would like to move on. The sooner I get through this, the sooner I don't have to look at your ugly mugs anymore.
Hopefully, we won't need to look at yours again.
Watch yourself.
The images of Deadshot disappear off of the monitor that's behind Waller. Now, images of another individual appear. These are all images of the ghost. The individual is wearing a white cloak jacket with its hood pulled up and cargo pants of the same color. A black skull mask covers his face and has red eye covering so that nobody can see the individual's eyes.
Who the fuck is this guy and what's with the overly edgy outfit?
This is the ghost. Or at least that's what we're calling them for now. In terms of their background, we've got nothing. No name, no gender, not a damn thing. We don't even know what their abilities are.
Sounds like they live up to their name.
I guess you could say that. They may not look like much, but there's a damn good reason they're on my shit list. You four don't need to know the details. Just know that the ghost has made off with some crucial U.S. government files and are threatening to reveal them to the public unless we meet their demands.
So what are his demands? If that's not confidential, of course, you secretive bitch.
Too much. Does that answer your question?
It's always the fucking money, isn't it?
Money or clout?
Clout.
I think I've heard my daughter use that word before.
I gave up on understanding how this generation tries to speak a long time ago. And let me tell you, my life has been better off.
Sorry to interrupt your stimulating conversation, but do you mind if I get back to what I was saying?
No need, Miss Waller.
Pardon?
I'm assuming that you want the four of us to kill this ghost individual and retrieve those stolen documents for you. I have to say, I feel like this is something that could easily be done by one of us. Makes me wonder why you needed all of us.
Oh, glad to see at least one person in this group can use their head. However, you're only half right with that assumption, Wilson.
Slade raises an eyebrow in suspicion.
You all may have already noticed the little collars around your necks, and it should be obvious that they are explosive and capable of blowing your heads off of your bodies. I also shouldn't have to explain who has the detonators for the collars. That much should be obvious, right?
Cocky bitch, aren't you? Especially considering you're in a room with 4 killers right now, with nothing more than a few guards with guns to protect you from us.
Anyways, the previous times that Deadshot and Bloodsport were recruited by me, they teamed up with other criminal scum to do missions. This method was getting tiresome, in my opinion, so I decided to try something a little different this time around.
Different how? Exactly.
Waller smiles.
The 4 of you in this room will not be working as a team for this mission. Rather, you can view this mission as a competition of sorts.
Competition?
You 4 gentlemen will all hunt down the ghost, kill him, retrieve the stolen documents, and bring them back to me personally. However, only the one who brings me back the documents will have their collar removed. The other 3, well, won't have such a happy ending.
The fuck does that mean? You crazy bitch. Are you saying that only one of us is going to make it out of this fucked up situation alive?
That is exactly what I'm saying. I appreciate you summarizing it so well for me.
You can't do that. It's bullshit.
Oh, I can't, Are you going to stop me, Mr. Chase?
Me? Why the hell would someone of my caliber even need to scoop down so low when I'm sure these other 3 are just as pissed off as I am? In fact, I'm sure the 3 of them are coming up with a plan to kill your ass right now.
Sorry to disappoint, Junior, but there isn't shit we can do as long as we have these collars around our neck. Plus, I kinda like the sound of this mission so far. Don't have to work with others who will just slow me down.
Come on, man.
Yeah, no shit. If all I have to do is kill someone and steal some documents, then this is no different from any other job that I take. Plus, since I'm going up against you 3, this could be a fun challenge.
It's been a while since these old bones have been assigned a mission. I'm gonna get rusty if I don't put them to use once in a while. May the best assassin win, gentlemen.
Are the 3 of you fucking serious? Am I the only sane person here?
Seems like that's the case. You're more than welcome to try and stop me yourself, though. I'd be curious to see how that goes for you.
Vigilante groans to himself in frustration, folds his arms across his chest, slouches in his chair and pouts like a child. The images on the large monitor behind Waller are replaced by pictures of Gotham City.
The target was last seen operating out of Gotham City. That's where the ghost is believed to currently be, and unfortunately is the only real lead we have in regards to his location. Can't make things too easy for the 4 of you, now can I?
Gotham? That shithole? Fuck me. It couldn't have been anywhere else.
Careful what you wish for. Imagine if it was Metropolis. Then we'd have to deal with fucking Superman.
The Bat and his merry band of helpers are much better.
It's been quite a while since I've been there. I have some interesting memories stemming from that place. Look forward to making some new ones.
There is one more small bit of information to go over before I send the 4 of you on your way. It's been discovered that the ghost does have a single accomplice.
Oh, really? Why am I not surprised?
The images of Gotham that are behind Waller are replaced by images of Rose Wilson, Slade's daughter, wearing her Ravager attire.
Holy shit! What a babe! I need to know this shorty's name. You know what I mean, because maybe after all of this is said and done, she can side by my place and we can do a little, What the fuck is so funny, Gramps?
To think my daughter would be working for someone as dangerous as this ghost character. Small world, I suppose.
Daughter?
Oh, and a word of advice. My daughter can be a bit more fierce in comparison to me. She has a bit of a nasty temper, so making moves on her might not be in your best interest.
You're just saying that because you don't want me going pound town with your granddaughter. Don't worry, Mr. Wilson. I promise I'll treat her real gently when the time comes.
In that case, I wish you the best of luck with that.
So, are you finally done talking now, you pompous bitch? Or do we have to hear more of your beautiful voice?
Thankfully, that's all I have to say. The rest is up to you 4. Remember, only the one who brings me the files is the one that will have their collar removed. You can form alliances along the way. I don't give a damn, but at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. What fun would it be otherwise?
Fun, huh? Seems like you're gonna be enjoying this.
Not at all. I'm just doing my job. That's all.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
With that, you will now be escorted out of this room and back into your respective cells. You no longer have to hear my voice, and I no longer have to hear yours. You'll stay the rest of the day in your cells and will be released tonight. You will all then head to Gotham to hunt down the target.
I'm assuming that you aren't going to be providing our transportation, correct?
Of course not. Nobody here would spend a fucking penny to provide you four sacks of shit with any assistance at all during this mission.
Well, when you put it like that.
The guards escort the 4 criminals out of the room, leaving Waller inside of it by herself. All of the pictures on the monitor disappear and the monitor turns off. Waller smiles evilly to herself.
You were actually right, Mr. Dubois. I am going to be enjoying this far more than you could possibly imagine.
Slade sits on the edge of his prison cell mattress as the door to his cell is shut and locked by a guard.
Makes me fucking sick every time that we have to work with people like you.
Is that so?
Accepting help from the likes of you. I don't know what Miss Waller is thinking half the damn time. Scum like you and your friends are nothing but killers, plain and simple. You deserve to rot in a cell like this for the rest of your lives.
I don't know if I would call the others my friends, considering I had just met them. On top of that, I'm working against them for this assignment, not with them. You should probably get your facts straight, if you don't mind my saying so. Miss Waller seems to have zero tolerance for simple mistakes, and I'd hate for you to get on her bad side.
Shut the fuck up! Like I need advice from you. The only good thing about this assignment is that 3 of you will end up dead. The world will be far better off with 3 less pieces of shit in it. The fuck you laughing at? Considering you're the oldest bastard of the 4, you'll probably be the first to die.
True as that might be, I just find it funny that you think with mere 3 killers, being killed is enough to have any effect on this world at all. Such naive thinking could only come from someone so young.
I don't got time to be lectured by you. Enjoy the rest of your stay, old man. This could be your last chance at downtime for a while.
The guard leaves and Slade lays on his prison mattress, staring at the ceiling.
As ignorant as that guard is, he does have a point. This very well could be my last assignment. It wouldn't be the worst thing, though. Lived a long life. Not necessarily a good one, but a long one all the same.
Slade's brows furrow when he remembers that his daughter is working for the Ghost.
It's a shame that you had to end up so much like your old man, Rose.
The scene begins with the Ghost standing inside of a rundown, abandoned building in Gotham City. They look through a shattered window at the vast city below them. The Ghost sighs and turns around to face the person who has just shown up to meet up at the abandoned building. The Ghost speaks to the person in a voice changer that's implanted inside of their mask, making their voice sound almost phantom-like.
You're late as always.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. You know how busy I am, after all. Believe it or not, you're not my only client.
I hope that your other clients aren't anyone in opposition to you. If this were to be the case, then...
Yeah, you'd kill me. Heard it all before. Try not to be such a fucking cliche. Anyways, why the hell did you call me here? I thought the two of us were finished working with each other. I helped you steal those documents, didn't I? What else is there to do?
Obtaining the documents is only the first step of the plan.
Plan?
A plan to take down Amanda Waller and her entire organization.
Wow, that's a pretty bold plan. I can see why you still need my help. I better be compensated for this, though. Sounds like things are only gonna get even more dangerous after all.
Do not worry. You will be properly compensated for your assistance.
Shit, that's all I need to hear. So, what's the next move then, boss?
The ghost pauses for a moment before continuing to speak.
Tomorrow night, we will be selling these documents to a particularly powerful presence here in Gotham City. In exchange for their assistance in helping you bring down Waller and her organization.
Sounds exciting. I like the sound of it already.
However, we do believe that things will not go as smoothly as they did when we stole the documents.
What makes you think that?
Simple. We've definitely gotten Miss Waller's attention. She's not just going to merely sit back and wait for us to make our next move.
Rose smiles.
Oh, so we're gonna have company tomorrow night? What kind of company do you think this Waller lady is gonna send our way?
The worst kind.
This scene takes place on the rooftop in Gotham City. It is the night that the Ghost and Rose Wilson are selling the stolen documents. Looking down at the brightly lit Gotham City is Red Hood, wearing his red helmet with white eye visors in his usual combat attire. He sighs to himself, bored.
I can't believe Bruce left me in charge of the city tonight. I forget that he is a billionaire, so it makes sense that he would have to take some overseas business trips once in a while. Still, what a major pain in the ass. Why couldn't he just have Dick do this? Oh, that's right. He's too busy trying to tap that alien girl's ass and fucking around with his Titan buddies. Who am I kidding? I can't blame him. I'd smash that alien girl if I had the chance. Actually, I wonder if I would have the chance. Imagine if I started hitting on her in front of Dick. He'd probably lose his shit, and that alien girl would be too dense to understand what was happening. That sounds like a hell lot more fun than what I'm doing right now.
All of a sudden, the communication device that's built into his red helmet goes off, indicating that someone's calling him. He taps on the communication device to answer the call.
What's up?
Jason, I just got a report of some kind of deal going down.
What kind of deal? Can't the police take care of that? I'm saving my energy for something more interesting.
Well, how's this for interesting? One of the individuals attending this meeting is Black Mask. I'm aware you've been interested in taking him down for a while, right?
Red Hood takes out his 2 pistols that are loaded with non-lethal bullets.
Matter of fact, I've had a score to settle with that cocksucker for a cool minute. I think I've had a change of heart. Tell me everything you know about this deal.
Is please in your vocabulary?
Pretty please with a fucking cherry on top?
I can't believe I'm stuck with you tonight. I miss working with Bruce, or Dick, or...
Yeah, I get it. Not like I'm thrilled to be working with you either, Four Eyes.
It's pretty low, making fun of a girl with glasses.
You would know all about being low, wouldn't you, Miss Cripple?
Very mature of you, Jason. Can we get back to the matter at hand?
Alright. Have I ever told you how stupid it is that Bruce is making me use non-lethal bullets?
Every single fucking time I work with you.